Hey there, everybody. I am Alex Barth with a CLNS Patriots breaking news video report. This Sunday evening, we're all sitting down to dinner, enjoying a nice Sunday meal, family, friends, whoever. And Bill Belichick decides to drop a trade on us. That's right. The Patriots have traded for the 29th pick in the 2013 NFL Draft. CORDARRELLE Patterson, they acquire him from the Oakland Raiders with a 6th-round pick in exchange for a 5th-round pick. So the Patriots move down 29 spots, and they add some serious speed. We've seen them make this kind of trade before. It's worked out sometimes, not all the time, but it has been successful. But let's first talk about Patterson and the Patriots' infatuation with him, because this is a guy out of Tennessee back in 2013, pardon me. The Patriots were really high on, and Bill Belichick was supposedly really high on. They had a chance to take him with the 29th pick in the draft. Instead, they traded that pick to the Minnesota Vikings, who took Patterson. And that trade took a lot of heat in New England at the time. The Patriots traded out of the first round. I believe it was the second year in a row they wouldn't have a first-round pick. And people around here really liked Patterson, and they thought he was a guy that could change the team. Now, in return, the Patriots got a 2nd-round pick, which they used to take Jamie Collins, a 3rd-round pick, which they used to take Logan Ryan, a 5th-round pick, which they used to take Josh Boyce, and a 7th-round pick, which they traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for LeGarrette Blount. So Collins, Ryan, Blount, none are with the team anymore, but you could say 3 very key pieces to 1, and for a couple of those guys, 2 Super Bowl wins. So the trade ends up working out in hindsight. At the time, yeah, it probably wasn't a great move, but it's interesting to kind of look back on that trade now, and this trade allows us to do that. And this is back when everything worked out for Belichick, right? When he could have benched one of his best defensive players and still maybe won the game. It seems like a long time ago, but it was only 5 years. So that was the Patriots side of things. What happened to Patterson after that trade? He goes to Minnesota and starts. He was a first-team All-Pro as a rookie, made the Pro Bowl as a special teamer, had some reps as a wide receiver, he's continued to have throughout his career, but mainly made his name in the punt return game. And that's the first thought I had, and I think a lot of people have when the Patriots acquired him, is that, Amendola's gone, Edelman's coming off a knee injury, you don't want him doing as much. CORDARRELLE Patterson is a guy who can really change things in the punt return game. 5 career punt return touchdowns in 5 years in the league, although he had none last year for the Oakland Raiders. However, he does not return kicks. He has just 1 kick return, period, in his career. So while he is an excellent punt returner, one of the best in the NFL, he has little to no experience returning kickoffs. Now, will that change in New England? Because they've never really had a full-time kick returner, and the guy who did the brunt of it last year was Dion Lewis, and he's gone. So Patterson, maybe will he return kicks as well as punts in New England? We'll see. But it's something to keep an eye on. Also, last season, he did have 31 catches for 300 yards, did not catch a touchdown, has very few receiving touchdowns in his career, has not been used as a primary wide receiver, but he is a burner. He is one of the fastest players in the league, and you add that to Brandon Cooks, and there could be some mismatches in this offense. Now, 31 catches, probably a good number for him. Shouldn't throw him the ball any more than 50 times, I don't think, if everybody's healthy. On that Raiders offense, that number could go down with the Patriots. But I would expect him to see some receiver snaps for New England, especially we know how much Josh McDaniels loves those jet sweeps and those end arounds. This is a guy who's going to be excellent at doing so. One of the better players in the league for doing that. He's just a guy, when you get the ball in his hands in space, he's dangerous. Whether you do it through the return game, whether you do it out of the backfield, whatever. He's a guy you want to get the ball in his hands. So I think the jet sweeps are definitely a threat with him, and we saw how much they love to go back to that last year with both Phillip Dorsett and Brandon Cooks. I think we could see him run out of the backfield. I think we could see him line up alongside a running back and maybe a 2-back shotgun set and then run him out of there because it creates mismatches. He is on the bigger side. He's not a big guy, but he's not small by any means either. He's not in that Danny Amendola mode build. He is more in the Chris Hogan sort of build, the Malcolm Mitchell sort of build. So there's numerous ways they could use him. But again, you got to get the ball in his hands. Not a great route runner. Doesn't have the best hands. But once you get him the ball in space, he'll make plays. And we know Josh McDaniels can figure out ways to do this. So again, the Patriots acquire CORDARRELLE Patterson for a 5th-round pick. They get a 6th back as well. One more point of this I want to touch on. We'll talk about this more on the next Patriots roundtable. But if you were out like I was yesterday for St. Patrick's Day, you may have missed, and I barely caught it, that Matthew Slater visited with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, you know, what most people put it under the radar. That's why it was easy to miss. Special teamer, right, goes and takes a visit. Who cares? But that's Matthew Slater. That's key locker room guy, key special teams guy, right? And I wonder if this trade is maybe Belichick saying, "You're done." I'm not sure Matthew Slater's back on this team next year. The fact they haven't offered him a contract yet, and they took care of the rest of the special teams players. He's 33 years old. He's missed 10 games in the last 2 seasons. I'm just wondering, and this is just a educated guess. This is not going off of any information. Nobody's telling me this. But an educated guess, and if you agree with me or not, let me know down in the comments below what you think of Slater's future with the team. 33 years old, has had some bad injuries the last couple of years. I wonder if there's something more serious with that injury that we know about, where Belichick just may not want him on the roster. It may not be worth the roster spot. And if Patterson can do everything that Slater does on special teams, he won't be able to do it as well, but if he can handle those duties, and he can return punts, and he can play a little wide receiver, well, that saves them a roster spot because they, in theory, don't need Slater and the fifth receiver. Patterson can be the special teams guy and the fifth receiver. So I think this puts Matthew Slater on notice for sure, but just an educated guess. We'll have more on the next CLNS Patriots Roundtable. You can check those out on the CLNS YouTube page. I also want to remind everybody that this breaking news update is brought to you by DraftKings. Go to DraftKings.com and use the promo code CLNS for a discount when you sign up. It's also brought to you by RXBar. Go to rxbar.com/CLNS for 25% off your order on the whole food protein bars. My name is Alex Barth. This has been a Patriots CLNS breaking news update. Again, CORDARRELLE Patterson to New England for a 5th-round pick. The Patriots receive a 6th as well. We'll have more discussion tomorrow. I will talk to you then. Until then, make sure you follow us on Twitter at PatriotsCLNS. Check us out online at clnsmedia.com. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll talk to you next time.